Let's go. Turn that shit up, man.
Yes, yes, yes. Organic Poison Podcast, sickest in the South. Here we are again. Oh my gosh, I gotta stop saying that every time I come into the show. But you know what? It's all good. Today I have a guest with me who is not only a guest, he is a friend, he is a brother. I've known this guy for a long time. I couldn't tell you the first time I met him, but I know one of the most interesting first encounters I had with him. Him and his friends were ollieing a gap by Fred's, and I'm pretty sure that he would be able to explain it a little better, but nonetheless, this is my friend Scott Mitchell, aka WiseBurger, aka a lot of other things.
You're right. Hello, everybody. My name's Scott. I am on the Organic Poison Podcast. Glad to be here.
Yes, we're glad to have you, or I'm glad to have you, along with my counterparts who happen to be listening to this podcast. Thank you guys for listening, as usual. Man, Scott, what's been up, man? What you been doing?
Man, I've just been trying to make it, do what I can, and soak up as much knowledge as possible. Take my L's as they come and jump that shit right back.
I like that. That's a nice explanation.
That's actually a lyric in one of my new songs.
Really?
It is.
That's awesome. I've noticed that you have been dropping some songs lately, just some short bangers. Like, you've just been wilding again.
I have. I've been through a lot of rough shit lately. Life has been kicking me in the ass. But as the lyrics say, we're going to take the L's and jump that shit right back.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that for knowing you for so long, I think I've always been able to admire the fact that you can take a lot of, maybe not all of it, but a lot of those emotions and that aggression and just put it in some music. And you're not throwing it away because it's like you have a catalog. It's not like you're just doing it or whatever, but you have a catalog. You make good songs, and you've been, of course, obviously you've grown in your sound, just like everyone else does. But I do find it admirable that you are able to harness some of that pain, really, I guess you could say, and you can kind of just put it into music. And not trying to be mushy gushy or anything, but it's hard. And your music's not mushy gushy, so
It is mushy gushy.
it's the gushiest of gush.
Yes. Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I try to use what I can. I just figure that's what you're supposed to do, right? Use it as fuel and make something good out of it.
Well, it definitely is probably one of the key therapeutics for disdain in the world, I suppose, is music. So, I think it's cool the way that you pull it off, for sure.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I admire the same thing about yours. Regardless if you want to admit it or not, I can hear it.
Well, I appreciate that. I will take the compliment. Thank you. I was wondering, though, since you've been putting out songs here and there the past couple of weeks, are you working on a project? You got something in the works that you would want to promote, or are you just kind of like figuring some shit out sonically?
Probably the latter. I'm trying to figure some stuff out, but I do have intentions of putting out a project soon. I don't know the name of that project yet, or maybe I do, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
You just changed it to Mushy Gushy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's it. The new album name is Mushy Gushy.
That's a great name. You could do some really gross shit with the cover art if you wanted to.
Yes, I would.
I don't really know what specifically, but you could do something that's supposed to think about it. Now, you really don't have to do this, but I'm just thinking like something that's like cartoonish, but it's like gross. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mushy Gushy reminds me of, I don't know why, but I picture this album art. I figure like it would be some cotton candy with blood stains on the cotton candy. I don't know why that pops in my brain, but it does.
Yeah, I was thinking of just like pink cotton, but I guess that would be cotton candy.
Yep. Oh, we came up with the same thing. Coherently, there it is.
That's incredible. Look at that. They also say that these days a lot of people will drop the singles and push the singles real hard. So I mean, either way, you got a few singles out, and I'm sure you'll be putting out more because you are not someone who lacks in the being able to turn them and burn them. Because you'll make some songs and put them out, and it's awesome.
Well, thanks, man.
Your ability to continue to make songs on a okay, when you're in the zone, you put a bunch of songs together in probably a specific period of time.
You're exactly right, actually. Nobody's ever said that. I'm glad you actually picked up on that. I feel like it comes in waves. Yeah, like what you just said, it comes in waves. The zone, when life's not kicking me in the fucking dick, it comes in zones. And then when it does, I'll try to put together what I can, and then we'll have that little catalog ready to go.
Yeah. See, that's awesome. And then I mean, you do like album covers, and sometimes you do videos and stuff. So I imagine like that's stuff that you think of almost I guess because you're kind of afforded the ability to take your time on something, but in the same breath that's because you record yourself. So it's like, I mean, this is something that recently, like with my last project, not to talk about me, but I'm just saying in parallel to, like I wrote parts of that project prior, like to actually sitting down and recording them, but most of it was me sitting down and listening to it through the recording software and writing it and then recording it. And like I used to not ever be able to do that because of the fact I didn't have access, but now I see how. And I just did all of it in the course of a week. I stayed up late as hell, even though I had to go to work early, and I just recorded it because I was like, if I don't do it while I'm like really in the zone,
yep.
I'm gonna put this shit off.
You're exactly right. I make myself do it, even when I really don't want to. Like that song, what was it? I think it's called which one was it? It was either it's an unreleased song. I don't want to give the name up yet, but
Sure.
it was either that one or the other one I just put out. It's called Duncan. It was one of those. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I was literally passing the fuck out on Benadryl, trying to make myself go to sleep, and it just hit me. And I was like, I need to record this right now. I know if I don't do this right now, it's not going to get done. So I made myself record that entire song while I was passing out. And I mixed half of it and finished it the next day. And I'm glad I did because it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a single. I mean, it works. I mean, and that shit's hard. I mean, so.
Yeah, so you said you've had experience with learning to do the recording yourself and mixing shit recently?
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, with my mixing, I ended up sending it off to manager / producer / engineer.
Oh, so you just recorded your vocals, the raw vocals?
Right, yeah. Which, I mean, that's something that I've been able to do for years. As far as like, if I have access to a computer and like when Jared's studio would be set up at the house, even back in the Tommy days, like I've been able to I can record my own vocals and like it help myself layer them and do however I want to do it, which is nice. But like as far as mixing goes, dude, I have no idea. I'm a send the stems kind of guy right now, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I had to learn how to do all that shit myself, and I'm not the best at it, obviously. If you want my personal opinion, it needs a lot of work. But I know that. But that's okay because I'm not looking for the best quality. I just want something that's decent. And maybe one day when I get a lot of money, obviously I'll go to a professional studio and have somebody that I have good chemistry with that I can record my shit the way I want it recorded, and we can make that easy. But the reason I had to learn to do it all by myself, literally everything, artwork, video editing, making music, is because I grew up very, very poor and with a lot of unfortunate problems that we could or could not go into. But anyway, I had to learn how to do that shit myself. So I learned how to do it. I had nothing other to do than to just learn. So I learned as much as I could, and that ended up helping me down the line a lot.
Right, yeah, definitely. I mean, because as far as I've known, you've always recorded your own stuff.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I tried to do it once or twice with somebody else, and I just couldn't do it. Number one, I had the pressure of someone sitting there going, okay, let's press start again, or let's do this again. Oh, is this how you want it? Blah, blah, blah. When I do it myself, I know exactly what I want to keep, what I want to disregard, how I want to put this, how I want this to sound, and then I can create it. Not only can I record it and see it in my brain, but I can put it on paper and record it. And I think that's a really big benefit of being able to do it yourself, and that's something I really like.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I can imagine that would. I mean, it would give you anxiety to go and be in a studio with someone else, especially think about paying like by the hour.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a very rich person yet, so I can't afford that.
Yeah, you'd be lucky to get a song done in an hour.
Exactly.
You know,
Yep.
like,
Exactly.
not you exclusively. I mean, that's
No,
just
me
something.
exclusive. No, me.
I mean, because I'm the same way. Like when I went and recorded, the first time I ever went to a professional recording studio was to record. Well, not the first time I've ever been to a professional recording studio, but the first time I went to go record on my own as a rapper in a studio like that, like ever, was when I recorded Manny Anderson and "Say My Name."
Yeah, that
Like,
song sounded so good though.
I mean, you can tell that I went to a studio and recorded them
Yeah, for sure. Oh, trust me, when I was editing and putting together your music video, I heard that song probably, I'm not even shitting you, over 300 times. So
Yeah.
that song is burned into my brain, and I can appreciate it though.
Yeah, I mean that song. If I'd have really done it right, I think I could have got that song like played in some clubs for sure.
That song's a
Like,
banger though, man. That song's a banger.
and it's like, okay, songs like that, like I feel like you can tell probably someone who's listened to.
Oh, I definitely can tell.
It's like, but that song is meant to be like like lyrically, you can tell. I hope that people can tell now, especially since I'm not promoting it super heavy, because I love the song. I would tell everyone about it, but I'm just saying it's not like the single I'm pushing or anything. But like the lyrics are not like 100% like some lyrical shit. Like,
Yeah,
I
but it
wasn't.
sounds really good though, man. It sounds great. The first time I heard it, I was like, "Oh, Shane is evolving. This is really good."
Yeah, well, it to me it was like my attempt at by myself making an actual song that sounds like it would be like a club hit or some shit that would
It
have some
does. It really does though.
really raging, and it was up tempo. I mean, for a lot of years, like I've never really rapped over anything super fast tempo like that.
Yeah.
But and it was, I loved it. I love that song. I like the other song too. It just didn't get the shine the way that Manny Anderson did.
Well, it was great though, man. I loved all of those, especially the new shit that you sent me recently. That was really good, man.
Thank you. I like it. I like to make music when I get in the zone, you know? Like I just got to get in the zone to make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. Like I said, that's why I'm not rushing anything right now. Like I'm going to go super hard on music again very soon. But I'm not forcing that, man. I'm not Little Pump. I'm not in the spotlight right now. I'm not rushing, dude. I'll make it when it comes to me and when I have the opportunity to, when I feel like it feels right for me.
Right. No, definitely. I mean, and ultimately it kind of goes back to what we were talking about initially. Like it is an outlet, you know?
For sure, yeah. It's almost like like Tyler the Creator used to say, an alter ego or an outlet. It's just something that you can really just do whatever with it.
Right. No, absolutely. Definitely. I definitely can appreciate that about rapping, especially because, I mean, I loved playing in bands, you know, and I've even thought about in the past couple of years, like, man, it'd be cool to start a band, especially out here in Hayesburg. But like, well, obviously, coronavirus didn't help that dream or aspiration any. I was like, you know what, I'm good on starting a band. Like, I already
Yeah.
I can barely find like 5 people that I can stand to hang out and drink some beer with.
Fuck it, same, dude.
It's like much less, you know, try to be in a band that I have to see, you know, make plans to be there and do stuff at least once a week. Like,
Yep. My buddy Shane has some new life requirements and expectations now since he has a child.
yes, I am the I almost said I'm the owner. But
My boy is a daddy now.
yes, it is an experience. I mean, to tell you the truth, it has been awesome. And it's like people always tell you crazy things about being a parent, but like you just assume it all to be like something that you experience at once.
Yeah.
But it's really over the course of some time that you
Oh,
and
well, absolutely, yeah.
it is most certainly an up and down thing, but nonetheless it is awesome. Yes, I am a father, and
Yes.
I definitely don't have time to go and fuck around with and but it's not just that. It's also the fact that I try to do this podcast. I try to write music. I try to figure out, all these different things. I posted on my Facebook today about how it's like, I think I stretch myself out too thin, and it's my fault. Like but the thing is like I stretch myself out thin, like with all these different things that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not things that I have to do, but it's things that I want to do, and I don't get to do any of them properly.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's why same thing, man. Same thing with me. But here's the thing, like I've learned over time, I did the exact same thing as you, and I would notice I wouldn't be able to perform or do it the way I wanted to originally do it, or the way you picture it in your head, So
Right.
I just waited. I would wait and wait and wait, and I'd write all these things down on a list. And then eventually I would pick the one that I want to really still do after a couple months.
Yeah.
And then I would do that one and do it right.
That's a great idea.
Same reason I don't have tattoos, man. Same reason I don't have tattoos. Neil deGrasse Tyson said it best on the Joe Rogan podcast. I can't remember it quote for quote, but it was the reason I don't have tattoos is because basically, I'm not a scientist, obviously, but I kind of think in the same terms of I'm always learning. I'm always learning, and I want to learn as much as I can about everything. My opinions are always changing. I'm learning more about stuff that I already think I know about, but I'm still learning more about that. So therefore, say I love something so much that I want to etch it into my skin. And then, this is just me personally, not anybody else, obviously.
Sure.
A year from now, I'd be like, you know what? That's okay. That's cool, I'm not going to say, fuck that. Why did I put that on my skin? I wouldn't have put it there to begin with. I got at least that much brain.
Right.
But I would be like, hey, I could have did this better. Or I should have put this, or et cetera, et cetera. So I want to leave space on my body for that one really, really cool tattoo that captures everything. Because you only have so much space on your body. And maybe I'm being pedantic, but if you go listen to the Neil deGrasse Tyson podcast with Joe Rogan, he explains it a lot better than my fucking chopped up bullshit. But yeah.
I mean, you explained yourself pretty well, because I mean, like I was gonna ask, do you think that has anything to do with maybe your personality? Maybe
Yeah.
like a bit of a like maybe you're not a perfectionist, but you have this like over desire to like have things be as perfect as they can be, for whatever reason. And do you imagine maybe you look down at your arm and you see, I'm not trying to convince you to get tattooed, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's like you look down at your arm and you're like, oh, we could have did this, and it's like, oh, you want to get it fixed, and then it's just another-
exactly. Or maybe I want to change this, or no, maybe I just learned about this, and maybe why did I put that on? Actually, that's not even fucking right. That's not even right. What the fuck?
Right.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, so I just try to learn as much as I can. I'm still looking for the tattoo that I want, man. I've been looking for a tattoo that I want since I was 15 years old, and I'm still looking and still waiting for something that's worth a fuck enough to put on my body that I will care about enough to be okay with it there for the rest of my life.
Right. And it's kind of a catch-22, because it's like you think about something, a scenario where you think about something that's so important to you that you get it tattooed on your body.
Yes.
It's like, well, God forbid something comes and taints that, whatever it may be.
Exactly. Yep.
It's a catch-22, like with that, because it's like those things that are that dear to you are the same things that could damage you, not necessarily damage you, but damage your perception on certain things or those things.
Yeah,
Whether
exactly.
Whether it be women, whether it be something religious or spiritually speaking, whether it be something to do with even some hidden whatever, or some personal shit. God forbid 5 years down the road you're like, wow, that was fuck all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, on the same thing, or opposite, there's personalities of where people just kind of put whatever they like, and that's okay too. I completely understand that. Like, say I wanted to put WiseBurger on my arm. That's okay. That's cool. That's fine with me, or whatever that I'm into right then, and that's okay, because 20 years from now, I may not be into that, or I may not care about it, and that's okay. It may not bother me. It may bother me. I could look down at my arm and be like, oh, that's cool. I'm not into that anymore, but I was, and that proves it right there, and everything's okay. I mean, it's just really all about your perspective and your perception of how you want to take it. And for me, right now, I'm just looking for the really nice thing that I would love to put on my body. And I don't really know what that is yet. Maybe I will one day. Maybe I won't.
Right. Well, guess what?
Chicken butt.
This is America, and currently in America, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
You're fucking right.
For now. For now. Speaking of that, something that's been in it's something that's been in the news lately. And of course, this comes around every couple of years. I can't strategically put my finger on it because it's not exactly right. They had a built-in excuse as far as COVID goes for the election year, hysteria or whatever.
Yep.
But usually it would be something to do with guns because, Democrats maybe feel like they can get an edge or vice versa. Republicans are like, oh, this is a good thing. I digress. Here we are again for some reason. And again, 2A is in the news all day, every day.
Absolutely.
Or, at least 4 or 5 good hours a day on some channel.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've kept up with any of the things going on, what they've been talking about lately.
Oh, I have to a certain extent. Yeah. Sure. I don't let it worry me too much, but yeah, I mean, we expected this with the Joe Biden shit, especially. We knew Joe Biden was anti-gun as fuck. He passed I think it was the assault weapons bill back in like 1990 something or something like that. And it basically did nothing to curb crime the way he intended. It did nothing. It literally did nothing. And he's trying to reinstate the same old bullshit again. And then every time there's a shooting or some fucking crazy kid goes and shoots up a fucking store or a school or whatever, they use the same old excuses and they use it to the best that they can to push whatever gun control bullshit they're trying to push now. So same old bullshit, just repeated.
See, and it's funny that you say the same old bullshit because in my head I think to myself, in agreement to your point, I'm like, doesn't it just seem like also whenever they have these types of situations where it comes up and it's heavy in the media, don't they? The government says, yeah, we're putting these new regulations. The people who are super pro 2A are like, what the fuck? Or the people who barely know anything probably are like, what the fuck? They can't do this. Like, this is bullshit. We got to stand up for our rights. Blah, blah. And it's like kind of the same pony show because it stops and nothing ever really changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then again, I will say, I'm not saying that they're, whatever. But I'm not saying what I have and what I don't have, but I'm just saying I'm not like a super giant gun enthusiast. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 100% down with 2A. Like our people being able to bear firearms and shit like that. But I'm just saying I don't personally, go out and spend my extra money from my paycheck. I don't go out to the shooting range or anything like that. Not that I wouldn't. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, same with me. Even though I'm a self-defense instructor and I teach defensive violence and all of this, I'm not a firearm enthusiast either. It just so happens to be the best tool currently. If there was the Laser Blaster 5000 that was 15 times better than a gun, I would have that. So a firearm currently in our day and age just so happens to be the best thing to stop another human being from doing really bad shit. It's the most effective tool, so therefore that's what we use. The same thing what you were saying. I'm not gonna push buying gun or pro-gun bullshit on anybody. I just want everybody to have freedom. I'm not going to tell you what you can have. You don't tell me what I can have. As long as what I'm doing isn't personally hurting you, I don't want you to infringe on my freedoms either. We give freedom and expect freedom. That's how freedom works. I let you do whatever you want to do. You let me do what I want to do. That's what
I don't bother you with what I have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to even if I disagree with what you're saying and I absolutely think it's fucking retarded, I'm still going to stand up and fight for your right to say that because that's what freedom is. And I would hope that you would do the same for me. Not you, obviously. But I would hope that the opposite person would do the same for me because that is what true freedom is. That's what America is. We stand up for each other's freedom, not try to suppress what we don't agree with.
You know that obviously makes you a fascist.
Whatever that means. Call me whatever you want. I just want fucking freedom.
Hey, I just want you to know I'm kidding, by the way.
That's fine with me. I just want freedom.
That just sounds like it would be like a Twitter exchange. You could say all that and it's fucking awesome. Like I know there's at least a handful of people listening to this podcast right now that got chills while you were talking just now. But if that was on Twitter, multiple threads, some prick would comment on there and be like, "You're a fucking fascist."
Call me whatever you fucking want. I literally do not care. I do not care. I just want to have freedom, and I want you to have freedom. I'm not going to tell you what to believe in or what you can and can't have, and you're not going to tell me that shit either. We're going to have freedom. That's all I want. So if you want to label me something because of it, go the fuck ahead, dude. I don't care.
You're free to do that.
Yeah, you are. You're free. Call me whatever you want. That's your freedom. And I'll fight for it. I'll fight for your right to call me whatever you want to call me.
I mean, I have the same sentiments as you. I mean, I don't think that we have. I think we live in a really bizarre time where people are actually like inclined to, like, they're like, no, man, we actually love the government. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, it's also interesting to me. It's like, this is the same demographic of people who are like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people out there right now. They're like, fuck the government. But I'm just saying, like, there's like a lot of people like, no, like in the grand scheme of things, especially online, like these people are arguing points for big corporations.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. Yeah. I mean, well, I used to be, when I was a fucking teenager and I used to believe in conspiracy theories and all that dumb shit, I used to be, fuck the government. The government's bullshit, man. And now I'm like, not for the government, but I'm not against it either to a certain extent. I think we just need to be reasonable. And I'm not all the way on one side and I'm not all the way on the other. I'm just kind of like in the middle with things. I try to be reasonable.
Right. No, I feel you. I mean, it's fair to say, and I'm not saying this in the sense of like, let's do away with programs, but I'm saying that like we have kind of signed ourselves up generationally speaking, like for the past handful of generations, we have set ourselves up to become so dependent on the government.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and I'm not, I mean, and this is coming from a guy who has, hey guys, sorry, we had a technical difficulty there. But no, just back on subject with the guns. Oh no, I digress. Another thing that's interesting about these people that are just so adamantly like, oh, we got to get rid of guns and we got to get rid of this. It's like these people are the same people who like. Wait, let me just pause for a second. It's not the entire like left wing of the spectrum anymore that's like against guns, right?
Yeah.
Like, is it just like a specific part of, because it seems like in the past year, everybody went and bought guns. Like, it didn't matter. It wasn't just right wingers or just people from the South. Like, there were places in California that were backed up every single morning, and they sold out of guns within the first 2 or 3 hours they were open.
Yep, absolutely. Because I mean, what are you gonna do without guns? Guns are your teeth to your freedom. If you don't have the Second Amendment, you don't have the first, because the second is your teeth. That's why it says at the end of it, shall not be infringed, because that's what keeps your freedom.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like that was the idea whenever they, like, and it just makes me think, it's like if they've done this and people are like, oh, it worked out in these other countries. I'm like, okay, like, but
yeah, but we can go into the statistics of those other countries, and violent crime goes up in those countries where there's no firearms. Guess what? There's still fucking muggings and stabbings and fucking beatings with baseball bats. And guess what? It doesn't fucking matter. If a criminal wants a gun, they're going to get it, because 90% of criminals buy their guns illegally anyway off the street, and they dodge the background check and they dodge all the laws. That's what being a criminal fucking means. That's the definition of being a criminal. You don't follow the law. You don't care about the law. So how, please somebody tell me in these fucking anti-gunners' minds where they think making more laws is going to somehow reduce the crime rate or make criminals be like, oh, you know what? Oh, there's more laws, so I guess I'm not going to do this now, because they didn't care about the laws in the first place. So what makes you think more is going to make anything change?
I mean, I agree.
We have 22,000 gun laws on the books right now. 22,000.
That's a lot of gun laws.
Hey, that extra 20 or that extra 1 or 2 is going to make the difference, man.
Yeah, it's gonna seal the deal for our reelection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I think that was kind of what I was paralleling. We were talking about something just a minute ago, but I just don't understand. I just don't understand why what the need in that is. But I mean, I'm a believe that. But okay, why is it that they like who is the people who are supposed to oppose that now?
In what sense? What do you mean?
Like okay, so apparently in the government right now, like in Congress and in the House or in the Senate and all this other stuff, apparently they're in a position to where anything that they say they want to do, they can actually do, and there's nothing that can be done to stop it. Like
Well,
people,
yeah.
unless other people who are Democrats, of course, decide to vote against it because they
Well,
have
yeah.
majority. Stuff.
No, keep going. I was listening to you.
Yeah, I was just saying it's because they have like majority votes. So it's like if they wanted to push some kind of crazy, because the stuff that he just recently said doesn't even sound that crazy. It doesn't. I'm not saying that at all that I'm just saying he should do it. I'm just saying it's like, what good does that do? Like what you're saying.
Exactly.
Is
Well,
not,
here's how it goes. This is what they do every time. They say, oh, they use these phrases. They use these little soft pillow nice phrases of. We just want common sense gun control. We just want common sense. Reasonable restrictions. It's just common sense. And then they get and you say, okay, you give them an inch and they take a fucking mile. That's how it happens every single time. Oh, we just want the scary AR-15s. We just want those. Oh, okay. And well, now we don't want you to have anything that has more than 10 rounds in it. And now you can't have semi-automatic guns, which is almost every single fucking gun, because almost all guns are semi-automatic guns.
right.
And, oh, now
It's like,
now
as
you can.
opposed
Yeah.
to what?
Yeah, exactly. And they just keep going and going and going. They chip away. That's how it works. They chip away at the rights. They chip away at the guns because they know that it's impossible to get all of it at once. And they will never, no matter what, they will never get all of the guns, no matter what. All you're doing is hurting the law-abiding citizens and the people that are willing to put up and follow your stupid-ass fucking regulations. That's the only people you're affecting, because you're not affecting crime in any way.
Right. I mean, people are still going to get shot. To me, it's like a Chinese finger trap. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's like you once you get in so far, it's like there's really nothing you can do. And I remember what I was trying to say with the parallel earlier, because I was basically, you know how earlier I brought that up about welfare. I was basically saying it's like I'm not saying we should get rid of these programs because of the fact I mean sure some probably could be taken off, but a lot of them it's like, hey, this government assistance, people literally survive off of some of this stuff. It's like, and there's not enough jobs, or there's not enough situations for you to just take all the. There's going to be way more criminals on the planet if you take them all off of
Exactly, bro. That's what they do. They try to change everything based off of this very small percentage that doesn't fucking matter. Just like AR-15s. The percent of AR-15s used in actual crimes every year is like less than 1%. It's like fucking 400, less than 400 deaths per year. Don't quote me on that, but it's around there. It's probably even less of people being shot with AR-15s in crimes. It's
Right.
fucking less than like 1%. If you really cared about gun crime, you would be going after handguns, because that's what 90% of gun crime is committed with. It's fucking handguns. That's what people shoot each other with, not fucking AR-15s. That is so rare. The only time you see AR-15s is when some fucking retard crazy fuck goes into the school or Walmart or someplace and tries to play Call of Duty or play GTA and kill as many people as he can, as quick as he can. And then it's the big scary black rifle, let's ban that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. And it's like it goes to the thing. That's how I feel about, though, like what I was saying. The parallel was, well, it's the same thing with guns. Y'all want to try to get rid of guns. It's too late. You know
There's over 400 million. There's more guns in this country than there are people. Over 400 million guns. Tell me how you're going to get rid of 400 million guns. You're fucking not. All you're going to do is take guns away from the good people, and the bad people are still going to have them.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's like, and But amongst all of that, there are those people who happen to be interested in abolishing the police entirely.
Oh yeah, okay. Go do that and tell me how that works out for you.
Yeah, after they get rid of their
Yeah,
guns.
just like here we go. Just like this happened, I think it was a couple days ago. There was a incident where a female officer, accidentally used her firearm when she was trying to deploy her taser. She tried to use the taser, said taser, taser, taser. And because of a lack of training and a lack of practice, she pulled her gun and shot the dude on accident. Oh, let's defund the police. Let's not give them better training. Okay, go ahead and do that. When you defund the police, guess what? Their training is going to go down the fucking shit bowl too. So more accidents and more problems are going to happen. However, they don't need more fucking military vehicles and all this. They have enough of that. They just need better training, and I'm sure everyone can agree with that. You need better training, higher quality training. Bulk training is not good enough. Academy training is not good enough. Your concealed carry class is not good enough. You need more training. It is a mindset and training thing. If you don't get more training and you don't give these officers better training, more mistakes like this are gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, I definitely. I think that there's definitely a deeper conversation to be had about this chick shooting this dude because, I mean, my thing is, what I don't understand is why didn't they just let him go? Like, of course.
Well, I don't know all the details of the case. I'm not going to sit here and try to sideline any of it. I don't know all of the case, so I'm not going to speak on it. But I do know what I saw, and I know why that happened. Speaking on people directly involved. But here's the thing, like it just comes back to training, man. It comes back to training.
Sure. I mean, I feel what you're saying. I mean, ultimately, even whether it be that specific situation or not, I think that less training is certainly not going to help those.
Yeah, exactly.
Not happen.
Yeah, and defunding is going to lead to worse training.
Right. I seriously believe that there is a lot of room for reform, especially in these bigger cities where this stuff happens, because this stuff doesn't just happen all the time in small towns. I mean, it's obviously has happened before, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of this big stuff that's coming from the cops doing this crazy shit, whether it be justified or not, is happening in like bigger cities. So of course, I think there's a lot of, and that's where they're spending all these money on this military shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're doing that in Macomb or in
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, in some places, they absolutely should have it. But, I mean, it's really unique in every place. You know, every situation is unique. You can't compare one situation to another and be like, oh, why did this guy shoot this guy in this situation, but when it was this dude, he didn't do it? Well,
yeah, on the other side of,
they're completely different people.
Of the country.
Yeah, they're completely different people. A police officer is not a robot. They don't respond the same. They're completely different. Everything is different. Every situation is unique and different. I can't give you an answer. There is no overall answer for that.
I've been experiencing that a lot. Well, I've come, obviously, over the past year, I think all of us look at things a little bit differently than we might have the year before, but it's something that I've picked up on is like, you'll watch somebody share something, and it's like, you know, a white cop abusing or, you know, hurting or killing a, you know, black man or woman. And then the next video they share, and it's like, see, look at this bullshit. How they going to be like this, blah, 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 blah.
Yep, exactly,
It's like, I would totally 100,000% be like, that is the pure definition of racism. And that was all definitely a racist. If it was the same cop in the same jurisdiction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but here's the thing. I have friends that believe that bullshit. They fucking eat it up. And here's where I think it happens. They see their friends post it. They see what everybody else is posting. They don't think for themselves. They don't actually go into why this happened, the specifics of this, and this. They just take it what everybody else is in. Oh, fuck this dude. He racist. They shot him because he black. They shot blah, 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 blah. And sometimes they're valid, sometimes they're correct, sometimes it really is because they're racist. But then sometimes you're throwing that racist term onto something that really had nothing to do with racism. It really did not. You can't throw racism on every time a white cop shoots a black dude. You just can't do it. You have to look at the situation entirely.
Right. I agree. I think I agree to the extent of definitely it. You need to be able to look at the big picture. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, believe me. If me and Shane saw anything like that, and we honestly believed it was racism happening, we would call it out, dude. We don't give a fuck if the cop was white. Oh, we're gonna protect our white buddies. We don't give, bro. We'll fucking burn that motherfucker at the stake, dude. If it's racism, we will call it out, dude.
Well, see,
we will call it out.
That's the thing to me. I think to myself, I'm like, I don't fucking like racist people.
I don't like racists either at
You know
all.
what I'm saying? Like, and not that I've personally like dealt with an extensive amount of people, calling me some fucking,
Well, I have a lot of experience with that because I don't know if we want to go into that, but you know it. I'm pretty sure you do. When I was growing up, that's all I encountered, especially at the school I went to, because at the school I went to, I was one of the only white kids, and I got bullied and jumped and beat the fuck up. And I'm not exaggerating, purely because I was white. Purely because I was white. I was targeted through racism, okay? In herd mentality. I was targeted through that. You don't see me going around saying fuck all black people because I was bullied and was the target of racism throughout my childhood. Fuck no, dude. You can't have that mentality. You can't blame the group, an entire group of people based off of the actions of a few. And I feel like that applies to police too. You can't blame all police officers based off of the actions of a few. That is the same exact mentality of a racist.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's also, I mean, it's really unhealthy.
Yeah.
That is something that has been pushed so hard, and apparently it's a thing that they're like, that kind of thinking is like what they're trying to teach people.
Yeah, exactly. They're teaching that in schools. I just saw a video just a minute ago of a study. They're teaching that in schools. They're teaching all of what we just talked about. They're teaching it in schools. And it's fucking pathetic, dude. They're teaching bullshit in schools to kids now. Shit that's not factual. They're teaching perception bias and biases and bullshit. They're not even teaching facts anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that all signs point to that. And, I have to ask myself, I'm like, what is the, especially I have a kid now, but it's like, what is the like curriculum in say California versus Mississippi? Like how similar is that? Because you don't ever hear about like Mississippi families being like, yo, they're trying to teach my kid, insert something here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like you don't ever hear about that. But I say that, but the other day, about 2 months ago, I'm gonna tell you a little story real quick. There was a teacher who tried to get he either tried to get the black kids. Oh no, he got all the kids in the class to write out a short story about themselves and their life as a slave.
What the fuck, dude?
At the school right up the road from here. Like
here? That was here?
Well, in Purvis.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. And it was like holy shit, like what? I mean, it was a big news for like 2 days. But
yeah, bro. Y'all need to chill out with that bullshit.
I'm pretty sure because I think I never got the full story on it, but I thought to myself, I was like, so was it someone that was trying to do it because they thought that it would be like a woke thing to do? Or is it somebody who did it because they were like trying to be racist?
That fucking woke shit. Oh my God.
Because obviously it came back as being like some racist shit. Like people were like, why the fuck are you getting kids to pretend they're slaves in the first place?
Yeah.
But definitely, why are you trying to pretend they're slaves in the colonial era?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's fucked up. Like,
yeah, bro. Like I hate that shit.
Especially if they're black kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I said maybe it was meant to be some kind of like woke therapy session where put yourself in their shoes. I'm not saying it makes it okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I don't know the extent of the situation. I don't know the full context to the story you're telling, so I don't have an opinion one way or the other. But yeah.
I'm sure that the full context is not knowable unless you talk to that person.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I try not to jump to judgment like everybody does on the internet. You know, they post a fucking 15-second out of context clip, and then they start spewing their bullshit all over the fucking caption or whatever, and jump into conclusions based off of a 15-second out of context clip.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, they'll burn down a city for an in context clip. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, man. If there's really some bullshit going on, like I had a friend recently tell me we have a disagreement on some of this shit to do with police and black people and blah blah blah. We're on the same page, obviously, but I mean we have disagreements. And it's like, I think he asked me, he said, what would you do if that was me and I was the target of racial police targeting or whatever? And I was like, bro, I would get justice for you and I would call that shit out and I would make sure everything is known. I would make sure, I would do everything in my fucking power, dude. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't see fucking color. I know people say that all the time, but I'm being honest. Like, I don't see color. I judge you based off if you're a fucking asshole or not. Now, I don't see color. I don't care about that.
It's like to me it's one of those things. Like I see value in people. Like if you think about your friends growing up, they probably meant almost as much, if not more, to you than your family did. So it's like and it did not matter what color they were. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't be like proud of their heritage or whatever. I'm not trying to take that away from anybody. Whether you're proud to be Irish or you're proud to be you care about your
no, I'm not even about to talk about that. Oh boy, don't even go down that road, Shane. Watch what you're doing.
I'm just saying me specifically. I don't personally have a problem with people, Okay.
I don't either, but
I know what you're saying now.
Yeah.
We definitely don't have to talk about that at all. But shit, that's what I was saying. It's like people mean something to you like because they mean something to you, not because you are a black man. Hello, black man.
Yeah, I know.
Here is my servitude to you as a being of the planet, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate it for wherever and however it exists. I would never want a black person to feel some type of way about me. Not just like I don't want them to be mad at me and think I'm racist. Not just that, but like would never want somebody to think like I think that I am superior to you. And it's crazy to think that they pretty much make people say they're basically installing in white people's heads that they think that.
Yeah, exactly.
They want you to believe that you think that you are superior to minorities.
Absolutely.
African Americans.
Absolutely. They're pushing that shit left and fucking right. And unfortunately, let's be, people of color are eating that shit up. Like last time I checked, 99% of white people are supportive of black people and people of color. And every time there's racist bullshit, you see more white people and more people supporting them than fucking ever before. Like, people want others to think that racism is at an all-time high, when in reality, it's really not, dude. There is racism. Racism is still well and alive, don't get me wrong. But it's fucking not like how they make it out to be.
I'm sure over the course of the past year, there's been a lot of rekindled flames.
Well, yeah, that too.
Like, if you take that into consideration. But look, I'm not like the biggest diehard Obama fan or anything like that. I'm not really that diehard any of the politicians, but especially the presidents. But did it not feel like for a little while there, like maybe it's just because we're young, I hung out with a lot of people who are immigrants. I've hung out with people of a lot of different races, whatever. Everything kind of felt like we were getting it together. We were like, this is going to be this is going to be the generation that's going to make it all good, because people didn't give a fuck. If you looked online, people didn't give a fuck. If people were chilling with everybody.
Yeah, it seems like everything was okay, and now recently everything's kind of sparked back up. And it seems like this happens every couple years, especially when there's some type of fucking police bullshit going on. and then that sparks back up, and then this would die off again in a couple years, and then it'll spark back up. That's why I don't really give a shit about it. But I'm gonna state the fucking facts, dude. Like, you're not gonna fucking tell me I'm racist or that I think I'm somehow better than you because I'm fucking white, when in reality that's not it at all. I'm not fucking racist. I don't think I'm superior to you at all in any way. And I think people have a huge misconception of that lately, and it's really annoying. But at a certain point, dude, I'm not going to sit here and try to prove to you over and over that, no, I'm not racist. Look, I'm not racist. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck what you think, dude. Like, the people who know me know what the fuck's going on with me. Ask about me. Like, they know, bro. Like, you can say whatever you want, dude. People say, so my fucking best friend was actually black my entire life, dude. People say, oh, my best friend was black. Oh, my cousin was black. And then they say, oh, yeah, but you're still racist. Like, bro.
No, you're racist. You're racist because you said that.
Yeah, I know I'm racist. Because, like, bro, I don't fucking care. Like, I'm not about to sit here and try to prove this to you. I don't care what you think about me. I know what I am. I know what my friends are. I know, bro, I lived in this shit. I lived in this. I am not. I am not. I'm not going to sit here and try to prove it to you over and over because you're feeding into the media narrative that all white people are racist and all white police officers are racist. And bro, shut the fuck up. You're feeding into the dumbest shit. Like, yes, there are racist police officers. Yes, there are racist white people. Yes. But let's stop judging everybody off of the actions of a few.
Yeah, I've literally been raised to not do that.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Like, so where the fuck are people getting this shit from?
Yeah, and that's the thing that blows my mind. It's like we're all that's the thing, dude. That's what I just don't understand. I don't understand how it has totally flip-flopped.
Yep.
The same demographic of people, and I've said this several times, I feel like I've mentioned it on the podcast, but the same demographic of people who used to just totally, like, bash Christians for, like, yo, you're judging me and shoving your opinions down my throat, blah, 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 blah. That's what they used to say. When I was younger, it was always, oh, I don't really like Christians because they just shove their opinion down your throat until you're going to hell, which obviously that's annoying, but I'm saying, like, that's exactly what these people are now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
it is a new, very loosely based religion that has consumed these people, and it's like they do not want to coexist. I don't know. I'm speaking broadly, but I'm speaking about specific people.
Yeah,
I guess a specific broad quality.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone that has one problem or whatever is just the bane of my existence.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's just like they want to consume things, and if they can't consume it, they do not want to digest it. They just want to destroy it.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's like they want to abolish anything that goes, and they don't give a shit how it's done. They don't want to play by any kind of rules. It's like when you talk about the law or something, the only time they give a fuck about the law is when it got broken by somebody they can use against whatever. They do not give a fuck about the law. It's like,
yep.
There's people that are talking about, like, if this was a just and reasonable country, there wouldn't have been any trial for Derek Chauvin. They would have just hung him in the street.
Yep, absolutely.
That is a very broad, wide. Don't get me. I think he needs to go to jail for, if nothing else, then for negligence.
Absolutely. Yep, exactly. Negligence. I would say that too. Even if it really wasn't a race thing, like, you still need to be punished for negligence because, bro, like, out of the whole situation, if you go back and look at it, objective facts, like, bro, you were being negligent, and it doesn't matter. Someone lost their life due to your negligence.
Right, exactly. It's and it's like if you take it back and try to take all the emotion out of it, and it's like that's what I've been trying to do.
Exactly, that's what I try to do with everything. Take all the emotion out and only look at objective facts. Don't immediately stick bias in what you think about it. Oh, he's racist. Okay, yeah, maybe, but let's look at the facts first, dude.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, and it's like, just because if you don't, the stakes are pretty fucking high these days.
Exactly.
It's like Minneapolis, as we speak right now, I could pull up my YouTube channel and there would be somebody live streaming the carnage in Minnesota right now.
Yep.
Like,
absolutely.
And obviously people have their different opinions about that shit, but it's just like, to me, it's like, this is not worth it. So I don't know how the fuck or whatever the fuck y'all got to do to stop shooting people who you probably could avoid shooting,
Yep.
and just do that.
Yeah, no,
You know?
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. So I'm not going to tell all of my business on this because it doesn't need to be out, but I'm sure you know, Shane. I'm in certain groups or whatever. I've trained with certain people, and I'm around these kind of people all the time. I'm around SWAT dudes and police officers all the time. I am not a police officer. I have nothing to do with that. But my training, what I do, I end up around these dudes a lot. And
Right.
these dudes are they feel just as strongly as we do about this. They fucking cannot stand when there's a piece of shit racist cop. They want to burn this dude alive too, straight from their mouth. Trust me, I've heard it. They can't stand these dudes either. They want them out just as bad as we do.
Yeah, I mean that's a carried sentiment amongst a lot of places you could hear. Like, I mean, it's like you don't. I mean, it's not like. But the thing is, the problem is like it's like those cops can't. Which I'm not saying they should, but I'm just saying it's like you never see them like make big like statements like online or anything. Like,
Well,
hey,
yeah, I mean,
look.
they really can't due to their department and just policies,
Right.
and they can't really. But I mean, if you go up to and talk to them personally, dude, they will fucking talk to these dudes. Go up and fucking talk to them instead of coming up and putting a fucking camera in their face saying, "I know my rights. Are you detaining me?" Like, fucking
Yeah.
go up and try to make a friendship, dude, and see how far that can. Make friends. Make relationships. Make friends. That's going to help you a lot more than doing that stupid shit.
Yeah, it's obviously at this point in time, at this juncture, it's not about peace anymore.
Yeah,
They
I
don't-
know it's not, unfortunately.
It's not about coexisting and being happy and loving one another anymore.
Yeah, that's all they care about, bro, is fuck shit up, burn shit down, don't give a fuck. Fuck the facts. Feelings only, what we think. Fuck it up, burn it down, don't care, don't want to listen, fuck it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I wish it wasn't like that, but we can move on to something different if you want.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too much time on that bullshit.
No, it's all good, dude. I'm glad we got to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we really didn't even dive into it at all. Really, we barely touched the surface. But I mean, just for the record, I fucking love everybody of color. I don't care what color you are. So does Shane. We don't fucking care about color. We care about if you're an asshole or not. If we see somebody trying to victimize you because you're black or because you're a certain color or race, we will fucking stand up for you. You can ask Shane, you can ask anybody that knows me personally. I will die for you. I don't care if you're black or not. Like, dude, I will die, I will kill for you if you're black. Or whatever color you are, because color doesn't matter to us.
I think a great way to say it is like I would die and I would kill for you, and I don't have a preference of your color.
Exactly. And some people aren't going to believe that, and that's just too fucking bad, dude. Oh, well, who gives a shit?
They have the freedom to believe whatever they
Exactly,
want to believe.
exactly. Like, say, for example, if we blow up, or I blow up, people somewhere, some way, somebody's going to go back and find this podcast and pull shit I said from 10 years ago out of context and be like, see, Scott Mitchell's racist. He said this 10 years ago in a podcast and blah, blah, blah. But they didn't listen to the entire podcast. They pulled
They
little
never
out of
do.
context bullshit out and try to, like, paint a picture with a headline. Like, bro, no. Don't pull this out of context. Don't even try that bullshit, dude. We're not fucking racist. We care about all fucking people, especially if you're black right now. We care about you. Your life does matter. We give a fuck. We care. We actually do.
Amen. I mean, hell yeah.
Yes.
Fucking right. Okay, well, look, now that we've got that energy out of the way,
Yeah.
thank you for that. Well, let me go ahead and get into my question that I've got. This is a question that I started on the last episode with Gennaro, great guy, cool artist from here.
Yes.
He's a cool dude, but he also is a good artist as well. But I asked him, and you could take a second to ponder it. You don't have to give me a direct answer immediately.
Uh-huh.
If you just got $1 million that just landed in your lap.
Oh, shit.
Not a crazy question, obviously, but $1 million lands in your lap. What would you do with it?
What would I do with it? That's a great question. I would probably write down everything that needed to be taken care of. important shit from not only me but my family. Important
Obviously.
stuff. I would get all of that taken care of and get living situations in order as much as possible, and then take the remaining money and try to find a way to multiply that into more money. Because guess what? $1 million really is not very much.
Yeah, especially if you're living like you got $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. $1 million is not $1 million. It's not what you think it is.
Okay, well, let's just for the sake of making this more interesting, you can't invest it in anything.
Okay. So you're saying basically what would I buy or what would I spend it on?
Right. Now, you can invest it in, say, a materialistic item like a house or, something like that. But I'm saying, like, let's just say you can't invest it into, because then it kind of makes it boring. Because you make a really good point about investing it. But it's like, let's just think a little bit more selfishly. So let's say you spend 150 grand on asserting your current situation and, getting the family straight and stuff like that. So you have $850,000 left.
Okay. Well, I'm sure. So right now, obviously, we can go back and listen to this and be like, you know what, a better answer would have been this, which obviously it would be. I'll go back and say, you know what, I should have said this, or this would have been a way better thing to do with that money. But, for the sake of on-the-spot answering, I'm just going to give you an answer. It's probably not the best one, but.
Well, and I'm not about to give you $1 million, so you don't have to do
You fucking asshole. I was ripped off.
You just hang up. You're like, you said you were paying me $1 million.
Yep. Yeah, you were. That was the deal. I didn't get my money.
You told me to act surprised.
Yeah, no, just so y'all know, Shane really is giving me $1 million after this. I'm not doing this shit for free. I don't know what y'all think.
Yes, if I was giving him $1 million, I promised this we would just be doing this in person.
And we're not talking about it. Yeah.
We would sound a lot better too.
True. Man, I don't know, bro.
I'd also probably be drunk right now because I just wouldn't have work tomorrow, and it would just.
I don't know, man. To be honest, I would get all the proper studio equipment I would need, all the proper gaming computer technology setups I would need. I'd get a nice car and a nice house.
If you were getting a house, what kind of house would Scott WiseBurger, Scott Mitchell?
What kind of house would I want? I don't know.
What would you do? I mean, obviously you're having to be realistic because you are you have only $850,000 to spend.
Oh boy, I saw an $850,000 house exactly. It was $820,000, I believe, around there. The other day when I went to a friend's house to shoot, and this house was completely built from the ground up only for $800,000. It literally looked like a fucking mansion. It was humongous for only $800,000. And the guy was a chiropractor that owned it. I was like, holy fucking shit. I can't wait to own this one day. This is amazing, dude.
Man, they used to have out. I don't know if you've ever managed to find your way out to Clint's house, but Clint lives in this neighborhood.
I haven't.
Clint lives in this neighborhood where, well, I mean, he doesn't live there now, but like his folks live there. But and man, it's just all these nice ass houses, and I'm like, God, like, you know what it would be like to just be like the owner of this house. And back then, when we used to go over there a lot, like I was single, so it was like I'm thinking I would be like the coolest fucking dude on the planet. And then I would always get to thinking like, why would I buy a house like that here in Macomb? Like,
for sure.
I'm going to be hanging out, entertaining the same people. We're just going to be spending a lot more money to live in this big ass house. Like, I'd rather buy a moderate home. It's like if I went somewhere else, and it's like when people come to visit, it'll be like, look, we're going to Shane's fucking Goliath hotel of a house.
Yeah. I don't know, man. So to answer the question, because I'm sure people want to know, it's like, oh, you didn't answer, Shane. You didn't let him answer it.
It's all good. I probably still didn't let you answer.
Yeah, they do that on Joe Rogan's show. Like, they'll ask him, or somebody will be about to answer something, and they never answer it. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I really wanted that answer. But yeah, I don't know, man. Not that it's really important. I don't know why anybody would give shit what I would do with the money. But
I care.
I don't know, man. I would really have to think about it, but off the top, that would be what I would do. Buy a really nice house, depending on the prices and budget and what's around. I'd get a nice house. Maybe it has a couple stories. Maybe it don't. A nice swimming pool for kids eventually. I don't know. I don't really care about swimming that much myself.
I imagine if I wouldn't have robbed you from the ability to to invest some of your money, then you probably would have went for an $850,000 house like the one you saw.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't spend it all on that. Well, yeah, obviously, if I could make more money, I'd buy something nicer. But if I'm stuck with 850,000, I'm gonna make the most out of it I can, right? So,
Sure.
yeah, I don't know. I would definitely buy some land. Buy some land. Buy every
decent house and some land.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really care about a super nice house. I don't need a big house. I don't care about that shit. Is it nice? Yeah. But I would like a moderate house with a land and a nice car and everything that is needed, not necessarily just a big ass empty house.
Right. You would have to furnish it and furnish your property,
Yes.
get you a good lawnmower.
Yeah, and I'd have to get all of that shit. Yeah, you got to think about all that. So much goes into that. I really couldn't give you a detailed answer, but I would just get the shit that makes the most sense, really. A nice car, decent house, land, the shit that goes with it, food, lawnmower, utility bullshit, a nice big-ass, super secure, bolted to the floor gun safe that you can put all of your valuables in.
Which I assume you would probably acquire some more valuables.
Oh, maybe. Not really. I don't really give a shit about guns, you know? I don't really care about guns. I'd get the best guns that I would use for, what I use it for. I don't
Right.
do competition, even though I do practice in certain ways like that and learn from competition shooters. I'm personally not a competition shooter currently. And I don't go hunting, really. However, I would have a really, really good couple handguns, really good ARs with one set up for longer distance, one set up for closer CQB distance, a decent long-distance rifle, maybe a shotgun, because those are super versatile. You can shoot buckshot out of them, birdshot, slugs, just different shit like that. Fire extinguishers, medical equipment, obviously. Extra food, extra water, extra medicines, just shit like that. That's probably what I would get. It's not the most exciting answer, obviously, but
But no, I mean, at least it's true to you, I suppose.
yep.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
And
Would
shit
you
to
ever-
make everybody happy.
Yeah, would you ever consider trying to get a helicopter's license?
Eventually, maybe if I had the money for it, sure.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's probably not that expensive.
Well,
And if
yeah,
you got that kind of money, you can obviously not have to work for a little while.
yeah.
So it's-
I mean, well, I wouldn't have to work very hard at all because I'd be making the money into something that would make a lot more money.
Right. That's why I'm thinking. Also, though, you could use some money to take some time to learn to become a helicopter pilot, and then you could buy a helicopter and put it on your property.
I could fly around and fuck bitches and get money.
I mean, literally, you could. Do
It's literally. Yeah. True. I could be fucking bitches in my helicopter
I
and
mean,
then crash.
do you know? I mean, that'd be a hell of a way to go.
Let's do it.
As long as you could live stream that shit. I mean, obviously not intentionally crash, but you could live stream yourself piping down in a helicopter.
I'm going to
And
intentionally crash.
oh my god, dude! Think about it. If you were like everybody, you're popping or whatever, and you're like, everybody, come over to my Instagram live at 5:30 this afternoon. We're going up for the sunset, and you go up, and it's like it just shows you're piping down this bitch, and then it's like, ha, fuck the free world, and you just drive your helicopter into like the Capitol or something.
The side of the fucking building. Oh my fucking god. That's terrible.
And it just goes out. People that are in the town where you're filming are like, holy shit! They just hear you drive it into a First Baptist over St. Louis or some shit.
I'm gonna drive that bitch into what's that church that we used to do shows at?
Oh
The
my
time
God.
here, fucking New Heights. I'm
New
gonna drive
Heights,
my
dude.
fucking helicopter into New Heights.
It's the only way to kill. Well, if you drove it into the Rotary Gym, you could be like, "This is the only way to put the final nail in the coffin of the Macomb scene."
I almost just spit my fucking Red Bull out. Oh my god.
I just
Holy
crashed.
fuck.
I just died and killed myself and this hooker that I paid $7 on Summit Street.
I'm gonna die at the Rotary Gym. For those of you who don't know, that's a very memorable place where we used to do shows at from everywhere. Yeah, that was our childhood. This is a place called the Rotary Gym. It's where all the concerts would happen. It's where all the everything would happen.
Yeah, and of course we would have them in various other places, but I think
Yeah.
there was a lot more done at the Rotary Gym than probably anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure. Shit. I forgot what I was gonna ask you. Oh, I was gonna ask you earlier. What made you start rapping, Shane? Who
What?
or what inspired you to start making rap music?
Well, I started listening to rap music
Uh,
long before this, but uh, I started rapping. The main reason I actually thought that I could rap and like maybe try to make a song that was decent was Lil Wayne.
oh shit.
It's 100% Lil Wayne. Like I never ever thought that I could rap until I listened to Lil Wayne, which is crazy because obviously I hold him to high esteem and I think he has an illustrious career. So I don't want to make it sound like, well, fuck it.
Fart in a wallet, call it gas money.
Yeah, it's Birdman
My
Jr.
my four Bugattis. He talks so low that when he talk, it will sound like this. Yeah, but it would always sound like this.
They used to have a thing about them that like they would buy these vehicles, and I want to say that Lil Wayne said one time he's like, "I'm the only black man in America that's got this Bugatti."
Yeah, I heard that. Yep.
I was like, or he might have been like, I'm the only black man that owns this Bugatti, like in general.
Yeah.
But it's like, supposedly, like they like bought these cars that were like they only made like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Like, and of course the cars were expensive, and of course they were high end vehicles. But it's like it would be different if it was like, oh, well, I mean, I guess what are you supposed to do? I mean, apparently they don't make or they didn't make a shitload of Bugattis. Like they made like
Yeah.
200 of them like each series or something.
Yeah, I personally don't even like the Bugatti. I think it's ugly as fuck. I personally would love a Lamborghini Aventador. Aventador or the Veneno. Personally, the Aventador. I love the fucking Aventador. Something about the shape of the headlights, the angles. I just like that a lot more than the Huracan or however you say it, the newer ones. There's just something about that one. I like it a lot.
Hey, you have already proven that you know more about Lambos than I do.
Well, I don't know that much about it, and I'm sure some diehard car person would be like, "What the fuck, you fucking retard? Why would you buy a Lamborghini? Really? You should get this. This is way better. McLaren S5 is way better than the Lamborghini Aventador." Yeah, bro, I don't care about fucking cars, dude. I just want something that looks nice and that is
Yeah.
valuable to me. I don't care about cars, dude.
Old school Lambos look like they would be in like the what's it called?
Them motherfuckers look like boxes with sharp angles.
Like vaporwave stuff or whatever. Like you see it like in some neon film or something.
Oh, you talking about like the retro
Yeah.
80s grid pink with the sunset thing? Yep.
Yeah, or like that kind of shit. That's what those old school Lamborghinis.
Yeah, that's what it's for. That's specifically what it's for.
Yeah, that's badass though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love holographic. When people ask me what my favorite color is, I don't really have a favorite color. I really don't. But I like holographic stuff because that's like all the colors in one. If I got a Lamborghini, it would probably be flat black with holographic strips or wrap in certain areas. That would be amazing. Holographic is fucking the shit.
That's wild. Yeah, it's like they also have like the colors that I don't know if the term is translucent, but like where it's like if you look at it from different angles.
Oh,
it's like
that's
different
called
colors.
pearlescent, or I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, but pearlescent, I believe is how you say it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what that is.
Well, that shit's really cool.
You know where I learned that from?
No.
Fucking video games.
Well, of course.
Pearlescent paint. That's where you see it at the multiple angles and it changes colors.
Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely think that's cool. But I would go more of like a straight color. Like I would want it to be like the classic yellow. If I got one of those old Lamborghinis, like it's just make it yellow.
Oh,
And if
yeah.
and I don't know shit about Ferraris either, but like if I got a Ferrari, it would have to be red. With
Yeah,
the yellow, with
for
the
sure.
yellow.
Yeah, it has to be red. It has to be. It's a Ferrari. It has to be red.
Like why would you buy a Ferrari if it wasn't red?
Yeah, exactly. I used to only want the Lamborghini to be flat black and gray, like a mix, like the rims be flat black and the car be flat gray, or some combination of thereof. But I'll show you some pictures later of these holographic Lamborghinis. This shit's amazing.
Yeah, no, that definitely. Absolutely. Positively. So you would get a Lambo. That's what you would do if you got what? That's the car you would get.
I don't know. Maybe if I had plenty of money, maybe if I had the money to afford it and afford to drive it and afford the maintenance on it, and it wouldn't put me in debt to fuck up anything else, or I wouldn't lose anything else that I would need. Yeah, maybe.
It's like there's obviously a handful of stipulations.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. I mean, but I would probably have a lot. There's a lot of new cars that are coming out that are way cooler. I mean, I love the Aventador. There's McLarens, there's Ferraris, there's so many cars. I don't know all the names of them, but there's a lot of really cool ones.
Yeah, no, definitely. There are a lot of cars, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know shit about cars.
Yeah, I don't either.
I barely know anything about the cars that I see all the time.
Yep.
So it's just one of those things. But before we get out of here, I want to ask you another question. This is another quiz. I think this might be. No, this isn't a first time question, but it is a question that I have asked before. So, but I would like to know. I always frame it differently, so that way it works out. If you had to pick, or excuse me, let's do top three. I want to know your top three favorite rappers of all time.
Oh,
and
God.
Obviously, I'm not going to hold you to it, but I'm just out of curiosity. If you could think of three that were like most influential on you.
Most influential on me.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be sonically. It can just be in general, or it can be strictly sonically, whatever.
Man, that's a really hard list. That's one of the hardest lists ever.
Well, you've got a top five. Everybody's got a top five on the inside.
I don't know if I could give you a top five. Maybe I can give you a top three off the top of my head.
But I was just gonna say the top three can be three of no specific order, but they're all kind of in your top five. So you can make it loosely.
Okay, I'm gonna make it not in order.
Yeah,
and each person's gonna be for a different thing. And I don't even listen to some of these people anymore. But Tyler, the Creator, is one that comes to the top of my head immediately, for being a teenager and growing up and inspiring me to make music. Because of him being the weird guy that raps about the weird shit that nobody else talks about. The darker side of shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, Tyler, the Creator definitely makes sense.
Yeah, this guy named, most people don't know him, but I made music with him, and he blew up, and now he got a record deal from Strange Music with Tech Nine. I knew he'd blow up. I knew he would. I'm grateful to have made music with him, and the songs I did make, or one of them specifically, blew the fuck up. Like a couple 100,000, or not a couple hundred, but like 130 or 40,000 views, almost 150,000 views.
In a very specific demographic, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people in a specific genre. That's not like a pop radio or anything.
Yeah, for sure. Well, his name was King ISO, and he's just a fucking amazing rapper, dude. Amazing. He makes amazing music of technical ability, singing, just overall vibe, and in general. Yeah, that guy's amazing. Let's see, who else? Damn, man, I'd have to look through my shit to tell you off the top of my head. I can tell you artists I like right now. I like 21 Savage. I like NLE Chopper.
NLE Chopper.
Yeah, Chopper. ER, white person, Chopper. Let's see, who else? I like Kevin Gates. I actually met Kevin Gates like a month or like 2 months ago at Walmart.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that to me. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's pretty wild.
He allegedly lives there now.
Oh, he does. He does. He bought a blueberry ranch and land over there, off 98. Kind of have the address and drone shots of the entire place because it's online. You can see all the pictures and videos of it. The address is publicly online of his entire property. You can see it from right before he bought it, the people selling it. And anyway, he bought that. It's a lot of land. You can't see it from the driveway or anything. And he has I think a double wide trailer on the property, a lake's on the property, a garage, studio.
Before, I don't know if he reactivated his Instagram. I don't think he did, but Like, if you go, even before he deactivated, he would get on live for like hours and just walk around his property and like talk to people.
Yeah.
And his wife like post a lot.
Yeah,
of,
the
like,
vlogs and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just crazy. It's like, damn, these people are just living, and it's like you can't help but think like, who's gonna be the dickhead that goes?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
exactly, bro. Like, I already have videos saved, and I'm not going to do this. Obviously, I have no malicious intent at all, but I am a self-defense instructor. I study defensive violence. I reverse engineer the criminal mind to learn and teach people. So I naturally think about this like a bad guy.
Yeah.
He posts so much vulnerable information, and it doesn't matter who on his property has a gun. It doesn't matter if he has a gun, because it can be done in a way where that's not gonna fucking matter.
Right.
Like, so much public information, all of his cars. I have videos and pictures of all of his vehicles. All the locations on his property, when he goes to the gym, when he doesn't go to the gym, all of that, like, just natural, without even trying really to get it. And I'm just thinking, somebody is gonna be a piece of shit, and somebody's gonna try to get him. I know it's gonna happen because he's here in like the worst place ever. It's gonna happen. Somebody is gonna try to get him,
Like,
and that's really unfortunate.
A year of being like super proud and stoked that like Kevin Gates like came back and like lived.
Something's gonna happen, and he's gonna leave.
Yeah, exactly. Too many creeps are gonna come out on
Yep.
his property and like try to holler at his wife or something.
Or do a home invasion and try to rob him for everything he has and rape his wife or whatever the fuck. You never know.
Yeah, that would be horrible.
Yeah.
That would be very, very.
He has guns and security cameras and stuff, and I just hope that never happens. But still, I mean, we live in a very bad place.
It makes you wonder. I mean, obviously, I'm quite sure he has a gun.
Oh yeah, he does.
But I mean, is he like a felon?
Yes.
So he just don't give a fuck.
Well, most people don't.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
mean,
If I was a felon, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm still defending my family. I'm still having a gun. The fuck?
Yeah,
I don't care if I'm a felon. Like, dude, that doesn't matter. I don't care.
right. I'm sure he's not just riding around acting a fucking fool with a gun.
Well, obviously, yeah. He probably doesn't have one with him. If he does, somebody else has the gun that's not a felon.
Right. Yeah, he's always got people with him too.
Yeah. He had OG Booby Black with him, and I talked to both of them.
What a wild name.
Yeah.
And he's got one arm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. He was cool, though. He had really good energy. OG Booby Black.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've always thought his name was so odd, but they always seem like they are really good friends.
Oh, they are. They are. He has him tattooed all over him. Kevin
That's
has
wild.
his face tattooed over him, on him, like 3 or 4 times.
That is wild, but it's awesome, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, I think I'm gonna get on out of here. I want to have you back on though, man. This was good. I think you're a great guest. You carry on conversation really well, and I'm quite sure that I think that most of my listener base will appreciate this episode. You mentioned a couple of things that were things that a lot of people actually think about. But,
Yeah, for sure. I think most people don't want to say them, though, because they don't want the controversy, and I don't either. But, I mean, I might as well, talk to you about it, because I know that we're on the same page, and I don't want to be too offensive or too shitty. I'm just giving my honest, opinion.
I think it's fair to say, and I mean this for myself as well, but I think it's fair to say that you don't, your intentions are not to offend anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just talking, man. Like, I don't mean to be shitty. If I piss you off, I'm sorry. If we disagree, that's completely okay.
Right.
I really don't give that much of a fuck about it to begin with. I don't want to argue with you about it. I mean, we can have a discussion and debate. That's fine, but. Yeah, maybe next time on the podcast we can go into other subjects such as, who knows, maybe even extraterrestrial technology or extraterrestrials or...
Yes. Yes. Dude,
maybe we'll do that.
Depending on what the weekend turns into, I might have you back on for the next episode.
For sure.
So, but I mean, either way, now that we know. We can
talk about a lot more stuff. That's a lot more exciting.
And if it wasn't 1 o'clock in the morning, we could talk about more.
For sure.
Now, but nonetheless, go ahead and tell the crowd, the crew, the people, the Organic Poison Savage As. That's not actual name, but tell them how to find you. I'm gonna have it posted anyway and tag you and everything I post, but still.
Oh, well, sure. Well, my name's Scott. Most people know me as WiseBurger. That's my online persona that everybody's known me by for like 15 years. My artist rap name is Eradicate. Yeah, I know it's terrible. Tell me about it. But I'm not going to change it at this point. We're going to keep it. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and most of those things. YouTube is youtube.com/WiseBurger, or just type in the channel, type in WiseBurger, you'll find it. Snapchat, it's at Real WiseBurger. Instagram, WiseBurger. And what else did I say? Facebook, you can do facebook.com/Real WiseBurger. You can usually find my shit under Real WiseBurger or WiseBurger. You'll find it somehow. But yeah, if you need quality artwork or graphic designs, that's what I do. You can find it under Redux Designs. You can go to our website currently. It's reduxdesigns.weebly.com. If you need really high quality album covers, mixtape covers, logos, product development, design, etc., that's what we do. And yeah, or if you need, in rare occasions, I'll do video editing for people. And I make rap music, shitty rap music. And I do a little bit more, but I don't tell people about that. But yeah, hit me up. And thank you, Shane, for inviting me on the podcast. I really appreciate it. It was an honor. We will get back on and do some, or talk about some way more interesting topics that I think people would love to hear.
Hey, I definitely cannot wait to sit down and touch on some topics, especially regarding the extraterrestrials.
For sure.
I feel like we could spend a half, if not almost an entire episode talking about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I consider myself somewhat of a serious, I don't know what you would call it, really. Some people call it ufologists, whatever you want to call it, but that's what I do. So I would love to talk about it, and we can get your opinion and talk about common questions and general theory and science and all those things. I would love to. So we can consider this episode 1 with myself, WiseBurger, on the Organic Poison Podcast. And any further words, Mr. Shane?
Thank you for outroing us, man. That was
Oh no, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to. Sorry.
I mean, it's all good. I had like a whole nother 30 minutes planned.
Oh, you did? Let's go.
No, I'm just kidding.